Proverbs 13:3. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction. Much of chapters 11 and 12 we have found deal with our speech. This verse seems to express the reason. Keeping or guarding your words determine your life. The mouth, when it's abandoned by wisdom and grace, will bring certain destruction. Great men are easily known by their speech. Consider these verses about our Lord. It says in Luke 4:22, and all bare him witness, and wondered at the gracious words which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, is not this Joseph's son? John 7:45 and 6 says, then came the officers to the chief priests and Pharisees, and they said unto them, why have ye not brought him? The officers answered, never man spake like this man. Why do we need so much reference to our speech? Well, let's look at James and see what he says. A lengthy portion, chapter 3, verses 2 to 12. It says, for many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body. Behold, we put bits in the horses' mouths that they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body. Behold also the ships which, though they be so great and are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listeth. Even so the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. For every kind of beast, and of birds, and of serpents, and of things in the sea is tamed, and hath been tamed of mankind, but the tongue can no man tame. It's an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. Therewith bless we God, even the Father, and therewith curse we men which are made after the similitude of God. Out of the same mouth proceedeth blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not so to be. Doth the fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter? Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries, either of fine figs? So can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh. Every word that you and I form ought to please the Lord. In the previous chapter in James, chapter 1:26, it says, if any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain. Oh, how we need to pray like David. Psalm 141:3, he says, set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth, keep the door of my lips. And then in chapter 19, verse 14, he says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. How we need to understand the connection of our sin nature and our speech. Consider this that Isaiah gave to us in chapter 6 and verses 1 through 5. He says, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sit upon a throne high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings, with 20 he covered his face, with 20 he covered his feet, and with 20 he did fly. And one cried unto another and said, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door moved with the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of people of unclean lips. For mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Oh, when we see him, does it not often cause us to look at our speech and realize how contemptible it is? Each night, before we sleep, it'd probably be good we consider our day and the words that we use, and in contrast, marvel at his word. The psalmist said in 4:4, stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. Selah.